Well, no trip to the Northwest would be complete without a little rain, and we've got a lot of rain falling right now at CenturyLink Field in downtown Seattle. These folks love their football in Seattle. This was the scene a moment ago as the home squad came out of the tunnel, and it was just absolutely deafening in this building. They're set for football, so are we, as the Seahawks get set to match up with the Arizona Cardinals. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Check. Fresno.
This is Chris Carson, 1,000-yard rusher a year ago. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Hey, zero. Check the call. Hey.
On second and 11 now. Wilson is going to fire one deep over the middle. And that one almost intercepted. Call it a 50-50 ball. It falls incomplete, and now third down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
Little trouble thus far on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 11.
43.
From the shotgun, Wilson. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. They give to Johnson going right. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. A lot of people felt Johnson was a little misused during what was a disappointing 2018. 940 yards on the ground, 7 touchdowns. Great for most, but not the season Johnson was hoping for. And he said this offseason, there are a lot of good running backs in the NFL, but I'm the best. And now he's trying to prove it, hoping to get back to the production. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And he'll take this back down inside the 20. That time defensively looked like they showed quite a bit of pressure, but backed off, and it proved fruitful. They get the pick.
He went through all of his rules about getting rid of the ball quickly because he read blitz. He saw all those people stacked at the line of scrimmage, and then they fooled him by dropping into coverage. Now he's ready to get rid of the ball fast, but guess what? Too many defenders out there. Exactly as you described, an interception.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They run it with Carson. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. If that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
He'll get only 2 there, and it's 2nd and goal. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. This is Carson. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Now third down is looming. A pickup of 2 on first down and just 1 yard there. This is kind of one of those in-between plays here, Charles, on third and goal from the 2 or the 3 in that area. What do you dial up?
Something quick hitting. You don't have the time for something that develops slowly. It's got to be right at them if you're going to run the football. And if you're going to throw it, something quick, get it out of your hands in a hurry.
Now a third and goal situation as this Arizona defense tries to stand tall once more. It's caught. Block it. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
On second down, it's Johnson. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. They'll say no gain on the play, so it was looking good, but nothing there, and now it's third down and inches. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on third and inches. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on first and 10. Throwing on first down is Murray. Complete. It's Johnson. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Fitzgerald hauling it in for Murray. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Give him 14 on that one and a first down. So from Seahawk territory now, it's first and 10 at the 46. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
On the ready, 54. Mike 54.
On second and 11 now. Murray. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So erase the flag. They decline it.
And did they use the big eraser, or was that the one at the end of the number 2 pencil?
Well, I was thinking the 2x2-inch ones that you can buy and use in addition to the pencil.
And those last forever.
A long time.
No doubt.
And this third down looking very tough after the holding penalty. Third and long.
Mike's 50, Mike's 50. You're trapped, you're trapped.
Throwing is Murray on third down. And he's got Fitzgerald. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 32-yard line.
And the Cardinal first down. That's the end of the first quarter.
3-0 after one on EA Sports. Cardinal football here to start quarter number 2 as they've got it with a 1st and 10. First down carry here for Johnson. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. The 22 is the line to gain here on third down.
Hey, watch the slant. Watch the slant.
From the gun on third down, Murray. And that is incomplete. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
On fourth down, here's Zane Gonzalez for the Cardinal field goal. It'll come from the right hash. It's a 47-yard attempt. And the kick by Gonzalez is good. And that will tie us at 3-3. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chest. Front, rally to it and make the tackle. Right? No big plays given up. No balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out? That just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
Pressure comes, and the Cardinals bring him down. The sack by Terrell Suggs.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Now Wilson. And an alley to run. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. The rushing numbers for Wilson, maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now it's Carson. And an alley to run. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And down right around the 37. A big hitter there, a first down gain of 26 yards. Line of scrimmage moves from one 37-yard line to the other as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Carson. Terrell Suggs in on the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd down now. It's Carson. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up first downs.
To throw is Wilson, and Dixon has it. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
That's what I'm talking about.
That coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. Hassan Reddick just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. Now play number 7 of this drive, but it's a tough 3rd and 9. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Being chased out left. He can run for it, and he will. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Cardinals' 12-yard line.
You and I both know most coaches are really fearful about their quarterbacks running with the ball. They don't want them to take that big hit. I don't think they worry about that with Russell Wilson. He's so smart in what he does, and we just saw it there on that scramble.
On first down, Wilson. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. The rookie DK Metcalf, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
A first carry for the converted wideout, J.D. McKissick. And he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage with a penalty flag down. This might push him back further. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. Now after the holding call, here's 2nd and 20.
Check. Switch.
19.
From the gun, it's Wilson. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that. And that's what he did.
And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
We get slap happy up here sometimes. So we're trading first-half field goals. No breakthrough on the touchdown front. Got a 6-3 game.
Yeah, and I know so many people look at a game through offensive eyes, right? They want to see how the game's played that way. You know how I'm going to view it, right? The defenses, to me, have responded well in this game. Like what I'm seeing from them, both of them hoping to keep it to field goals and not give up big touchdowns.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. You know, in our research packet this week, prepping for the game, so many articles from the local beat writer about the offensive struggles of this team and what will they do this offseason. What do you think they'll do?
Well, number one, they'll turn to their self-scouting report. And every team that's any good does this. They have outside groups. Check out their team, scout them, and tell you who can play, who can't play, and reasons why. Some of it may just be health. They have to get some guys healthy and back out on the field. But overall, evaluate this squad and make the changes that you need to.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Second down, Murray sets to throw. Dancing to his left. Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left side. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Trey Flowers picks it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Second interception for him now here in this first half. And you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question because that's what they're going to check on when he gets to the sidelines. The coach is going to check on, his teammates are going to check on it, because when you haven't done it before, it's not something that's part of you. You got to see how you're going to react. Let's see how he bounces back.
Yeah, because 2 interceptions for him in college and a half. I mean, that just didn't happen. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as he'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down.
First and 10 at the 31-yard line.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They will run it. It's McKissick. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. From the 36, Wilson. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 16 yards, a first down. Wilson now 6 of 10 of this first half. He's got his guys a first down here. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. David Moore, as the first half is winding down. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half.
All day, baby. Let's go. Let's go.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. That's their first time getting to the quarterback, sack number 1. And, you know, they had 5 last week, I'm remembering.
And you have to find a way to slow down the pass rush, not necessarily with just protecting your quarterback, but you show them a lot of different looks, and they did that in the first half. You know, different angles, different things to slow down the speed. They got to him here in the second half. Now they've got to come up with a counter to that and maybe do something different.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then.
And that's going to be intercepted. The all-pro corner, Patrick Peterson. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33.
58.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Tackle made there by Jordan Hicks.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. To throw is Wilson. From the gun, he'll throw. This one into the hands of Metcalf. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
Yeah, when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down.
They tried to run right into the teeth of the defense on 3rd down, but looked like those teeth were pretty sharp.
They were having absolutely none of it. Stuffed him for a loss.
Yeah, couldn't get any leverage up front and move people aside in order to run the ball.
So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, you know, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. On 2nd down, here's Murray. Completes it to Fitzgerald. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Murray going to try to throw on third down. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. It's a 45-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
Check 37. Check 37.
From the gun, Wilson. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. They got the win last week despite not having any interceptions. Tried to come up with one there, could not. But there's a stat category called PBU, pass breakup. That's important too, and they got one.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it, because at least you're there, knocking the ball away. Offense isn't possessing it, making plays downfield. And you just continue to harass the receivers, harass the quarterback. Maybe the big play does occur down the road.
And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to something else.
And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Out of the gun, here's Murray. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete, certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. Here's Andy Lee now as he's on to punt for Arizona. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
On second down, it's Carson, and he's going to be stopped here for no gain. And that's going to take us to the end of the third quarter play. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Seahawks with the possession. They also have the lead here as we get set for the fourth and final quarter. The Cards going nickel, an extra defensive back out there now on third down. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It's a gain of 12, first down Seahawks. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Throwing is Wilson. It's complete to Lockett. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Wilson. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked up by Byron Murphy, the rookie from Washington. And he will take this all the way up past the 40-yard line. Two-score game here in the fourth, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on it and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
Murray fighting, lost the football, and the Seahawks have recovered.
Brandon, I don't want to violate any of our broadcasting rules by declaring a game over before it's over. But that one, that puts them in real jeopardy there.
Absolutely. It was a two-possession game. It is a two-possession game at this stage in the fourth. They needed points out of that drive.
And obviously now, no chance at all to get those points that they so desperately needed.
43. Check, 43. I'm going to run you over. I'm going to run you over.
They'll run on first down. Carson. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
Rush in.
25.
Wilson now operating from the gun. Forced out to his left. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's third down. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long.
We got 4. At 58.
Hey, alert.
Cut.
Operating from the gun, Wilson. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. Chandler Jones make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
Murray now to throw. And Kyler Murray cannot get away. They drag it down to the end zone for 2 points. Well, there is still time to recover from this. It remains a two-score game even with the 2 points there, but let's just say things not trending in the right direction.
I like that phrase. I'm going to say it along with you. Things are definitely not trending in the right direction. They needed something on that drive. Instead, they gave up 2 points and a lot of hope.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Wilson. Quick hitter here, it's complete. Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back.
Don't get nervous.
He's got Lockett. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first. And looking to put this game on ice in the fourth quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Wilson. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. Chandler Jones in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Wilson to the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. From the shotgun, Wilson. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Cardinals' 32-yard line. Big hook up there. Forced to throw it on 3rd down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. They run on first down, but it only produces a gain of 2. It's 2nd down now. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down.
Watch the ship. Watch the ship. Hey, watch it.
They'll run with McKissick. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on 3rd down.
Ain't no such thing as a loss. We taking wins home.
And they'll indeed take a knee.
Wilson on the keeper. A loss of a yard. It's 4th down.
So the victory here for Seattle, and it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the Seahawks, it's an important win for their playoff hopes as they hit the 10-win mark now at 10-5. And they'll get another home date next week as the 49ers will come to town. Meanwhile, for Arizona, the slide continues as they drop now to 3-12. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to L.A. to take on the Rams. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.